I think if they're sort of prerequisites or things that will, factors that will lead to success or happiness at a consulting firm, they might be, you have to be fairly analytical. Consulting, yields value by being able to take another business's problems and break them down and try and find logical, data-driven solutions to understanding and fixing those problems. And so there's a very analytical component to what consulting work is. And I think people who, perhaps have trouble structuring a research paper, to figure out what's the hypothesis in a scientific experiment or your paper. Well, what's your argument? How do you break up the pieces of the argument to understand what you need to prove and disprove to make that argument credible? How do you find the data to map that to that argument, that hypothesis? And how do you draw it all together to come to a conclusion that's convincing? And I think it's heavily analytical, and it's not necessarily specific to the course of study that you're doing, because I've seen everything from a neuroscience major to an economics to business to an art history major. But it's that core analytics, and if I knew someone well enough to know that they'd have trouble breaking down the problems, being structured and analytical about it, it'd probably be the first indicator that it'd be tough.